Warren Buffett became a billionaire not because he earned a lot of money, but because he followed one rule that almost everyone ignores. A rule so simple you can apply it today, and it can change your entire financial life. What if I told you the richest investor in history built his empire using a rule you were never taught in school? A rule so obvious it feels almost stupid. Most people don't fail financially because they aren't smart. They fail because they follow the wrong system. The usual pattern is simple. You get paid, you spend money on bills and wants, and whatever is left at the end becomes your savings. But Warren Buffett completely flips this. His rule is simple and powerful. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. This one shift made him one of the richest men in history. And the reason it works goes far deeper than most people realize. When you save first, you take control of your money instead of letting your money control you. Most people live on financial autopilot. The moment their paycheck comes in, it gets eaten up by expenses, temptations, and impulse purchases. Saving becomes something they try to do, not something they commit to. But when the very first thing you do after getting paid is move money into savings or investments, you send a message, "I am in charge." It becomes an intentional act, a behavior that places you above your money instead of underneath it. Saving first is also Buffett's way of prioritizing your future self. He loves long-term thinking. One of his most famous lines is, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree long ago." Saving first is your version of planting that tree. Every dollar you save is a gift to the future you. The you who wants stability, freedom, a secure retirement, an emergency cushion, and the choice to say no to things that drain your life. Most people only think about the present, this weekend, this paycheck, this bill. But wealthy people, especially Buffett, always think in terms of decades. Saving first is a vote for the future, not just for today. Another reason this principle works is because saving first turns wealth building into an automatic process. Buffett understands human psychology better than most people. He knows willpower doesn't last. Motivation comes and goes. If your financial success depends on waking up every month and deciding to be disciplined, you will eventually fail. That's why Buffett loves systems. If your savings are automated, if money moves out the moment you're paid, then you don't have to think about it. You make one decision once, and the system builds wealth for you every month. People who try to save manually usually fail. People who automate savings eventually grow rich. Saving first also protects you from lifestyle inflation, one of the biggest threats to wealth. Lifestyle inflation is when your income increases and your spending rises right along with it. You get a raise, you upgrade your car. You get a bonus, you take an expensive vacation. And you end up with the same financial stress, just with nicer belongings. Buffett famously never fell into this trap. Even when he became a billionaire, he didn't drastically change his lifestyle. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958, drives modest cars, and avoids luxury for the sake of appearances. He understands something most people don't. If you buy things you don't need, you will eventually have to sell things you do need. Saving first prevents lifestyle inflation before it starts. Your savings rise as your income rises, and your spending stays grounded in your values, not your impulses. Saving first also builds what Buffett calls a financial fortress. Life is unpredictable. Emergencies will come. Medical bills, car problems, job losses, family needs. Most people are one bad event away from panic. But people who save first are protected. Their emergency fund gives them stability and emotional security. They don't have to rely on credit cards, debt, or desperate decisions. Buffett believes emotional stability is one of the greatest financial advantages a person can have, and saving first is the foundation of that stability. Another reason saving first is so powerful is because it creates investment capital. You cannot invest money you don't have. Buffett didn't start with millions. He started by saving small amounts consistently. Those savings became investments, and those investments compounded for decades. This is the real formula behind wealth. Save first, invest consistently, let time multiply your money. When you spend first and try to save whatever is left, there is rarely anything left. But when you save first, investing becomes automatic. You do it every month, not occasionally. That consistency is exactly what made Buffett wealthy. Saving first also reduces emotional spending. Most spending is triggered by boredom, stress, insecurity, or the need for quick dopamine. Buffett calls this behavior a tax on impatience. When your savings are set aside immediately, you naturally have less money available to blow impulsively. The system forces you to be intentional with the money that remains. You think before buying. You pause before reacting. The result is clearer decisions, less guilt, and far greater financial confidence. But the most powerful part of saving first isn't financial, it's psychological. Over time, saving first rewires your brain. You develop discipline, patience, delayed gratification, and long-term thinking. You stop identifying as someone who can't save and start seeing yourself as someone who is in control of their money. Buffett says the real difference between rich and poor isn't income, it's behavior. Saving first is the behavior that activates every other wealth-building skill. Once this habit becomes natural, everything else falls into place. You start investing consistently, you stop overspending, you avoid debt, and slowly, your money begins to grow through the most powerful force in finance, compounding. Buffett credits almost his entire fortune to compound interest. Compounding is what happens when your money earns money, and then that money earns money, and so on. But compounding only works if you save consistently. Even small amounts can grow massively over time. The key is starting early and staying consistent. Saving first ensures that compounding happens automatically, every single month, without fail. And ultimately, saving first buys the one thing Buffett values more than money: freedom. He says, "The rich are those who can choose what to do with their time." When you save first, you gradually buy back control of your life. You stop depending on every paycheck. You gain options, confidence, and the ability to make decisions based on choice, not fear. Freedom isn't bought with luxury, it's bought with savings and investments.